You have so many opportunities that are coming to you. But my question to you is, why do you sell yourself short? This week on The Thinking Effect. It drives me crazy to think that you work so hard to get where you are, to have opportunities come to you, and then when the opportunities present themselves to you, you feel as if like you're not worth it. Like you start to undersell yourself instead of overselling yourself. Like you have so many accomplishments. Like you went through so many rough nights. You put the time in to learn the things that you've learned, to deal with situations that you necessarily didn't want to deal with, to be around people that you didn't want to be around, but you feel as if you are showing off or boasting if you really speak to your accomplishments. And when you do that, you're really selling yourself short. And then on the flip side, you'll complain that you're not getting your just, or you'll complain that you're not getting your worth. But which one is it? Do you want to get what you're worth? Or do you not want to feel like you're boasting? There's nothing wrong with you speaking to your accomplishments. That's not bragging, right? Especially if you're speaking toward a goal. You know, I used to have that same issue until I started working with a life coach, right? And my coach would say to me like, yo, in so many words, like, you're not that special. I said, what do you mean? He says, I have an exercise for you. For the next 2 weeks, I want you to wear mismatched shoes outside. I said, mismatched shoes? He said, yeah. He said, I want you to start off basic. Like if you have a black shoe and a white shoe, I want you to wear one black shoe, one white shoe. And he said, each time you go out in the street, I want you to pay attention to who actually looks down at your feet and notices, and actually who looks down at your feet and who says something. It's like, I bet. So the first day I put on one white Reebok, and I had like some soft like Crocs sneakers, a black one. Put on one black, one white. Went my normal day, all up and down throughout the hood. A couple people like glanced down at my feet, but nobody said one thing. Next day I switched it up. You know, I did like one blue shoe, one black shoe. Same thing. Nobody said anything. You know, by like the 7th day, I got a little exotic with it, and I put on like one sneaker had green and yellow, and the other sneaker was like blue. And the only person that really noticed it was my mom. She looked at me, she was like, why do you have on mismatched shoes? And I said, well, Ma, here's the exercise with my coach. And he was absolutely right. People are so absorbed into what they're doing for themselves, they ain't really paying attention to you like that, right? And it's the same thing with social media. Like, I know you are such a perfectionist that you only want to post your best, and you overthink about what you're going to do. But even if you post your best or your worst, one or two things is going to happen. If they like it, they may hit the like button. And if it's something that moves them, they may leave a comment. But most commonly what they're going to do is they're just going to swipe right past it. So while you are overthinking it, like, oh, if I post this, people are going to, talk that talk about what you do and what you're worth, and you're showcasing it to the world. And if it's not for that person, they'll just go past it. And you have to think about opportunities being the same way. Like when I was in the role when I was working at a company where it was my responsibility to interview people, and I say, tell me something about yourself. Now it's your time to lay it on me. It's basically, I want to hear all of your best qualities. I want you to brag to me about the things that you've done, how much money you've saved, how much money you've earned, the number of things that you've processed or accomplished, or the number of people that you managed. I want to know all the details. I want to know what we're getting into. I don't just want to know from a generic standpoint that you worked there for a little while and you were promoted, but what happened in between that time? What did you actually do? These are the things you have to speak to. Because here's something that I've learned recently, and this is something that I've learned, being 100% an entrepreneur, is that no one is going to believe in you until you believe in you. So until you believe the amount that you're worth, you will never get the amount that you think you're worth, because you don't even believe it. So if you don't believe something, how can I, as an employer, give you what you don't even think you deserve? It's almost like you feel more honored to be worth less. Like if there's a whole cake and I say, look, this cake is for you, you're going to go, no. I'll just have a slice because I don't want to seem greedy. But I'm telling you, this cake is for you. You've earned it. Take the whole cake. So you have to ask yourself the question of, why do you feel as if you're not worthy? And then when you don't get it, or you see somebody else get it, now you're going to beef and be like, dag, see, now they got the whole cake. But you had the opportunity to get the cake. All you had to do is say, no, I've earned this cake. I am worth this. I'm not worth a slice of the cake. I'm worth the whole cake. So I want the whole cake, not part of it. And even if you're not driven by money, what do you value? What do you value the most? Is it personal time? Is it the freedom to do things on your own? To those things, even to say, what's an attractive offer to you? If you're not into money, my time is valuable to me. My work-life balance is valuable to me. So this is what I would like to have. And again, I tell you, I'm being totally honest. I almost slipped back into the comfort zone. I went on an interview and I probably blew it because I told them all the things that I wouldn't do. But I was being transparent because I know what my strengths are, my weaknesses are. So I'm not going to get in the interview and act like, I would do such and such just to get the job. And then when you get into the role, and if it's things that you didn't even speak up to say, like, no, those are not things that I do, but you're doing it just so that you can get it. And then when you start doing it, then you complain about it. No. Be upfront with yourself. If this is what you want, say what you want. If there are things that you do not want, speak to the things that you do not want and stand on it. Don't back down. And this doesn't come from an arrogant place. This doesn't come from, a place of conceitedness. This comes from self-awareness. And once you speak to that and you are authentic with yourself, now you give people the option of saying, yes and no, this is something that I would rock with. And there's no confusion. And you stand on that until you get exactly what you want. And if you don't know what you want, don't start looking just yet. You should have some sort of idea of what you want, or explore a bunch of options. So you have a bunch of options on the table so you can start narrowing it down. And if you're the type of person to where you overthink your decisions, narrow it down to 3, and then a person that you trust, bring them in to help you narrow it down from the 3 to the 1 so that you don't suffer from decision fatigue. This is the Thinking Effect, where we help you do your daily best.